for next week. All right. So now, without any further ado, we have our super sensational, absolutely awesome director and soon to be director again, Miss Heidi Fitzgerald. She's been a star consultant multiple times, has built a team, has gone through a little diversion, but raised teenagers, working Mary Kay full time, supporting herself, let the go of the bank job to do this. And now she's kind of had a little addition to her life. And I'm going to just let her tell her story now because she has some really great stuff to share with you guys. So I'm going to put it on speaker, and if everybody could go ahead and silence yourself, that would be great.
Awesome. Well, hello, beautiful friends. I'm so excited to be your speaker tonight. Life has been throwing some curveballs like left and right. The one thing that has been missing that I miss the most is my Mary Kay tribe. And so I'm just really honored that I was able to speak to you all tonight about emotional and time management, which some would think that those need to be put into two different categories, but I'm not doing that. We're just doing one because they kind of go hand in hand together. They could be a full training, but I'm going to kind of touch on both of them tonight. And, those of you who know that I, started my Alaska job a couple months ago, and I'm going to kind of get into that here pretty soon, but things have been a little bit different for me. And I'm having to get back in touch with some of those time management tools that we teach consultants. And then I had so much time in my day that I kind of lost track of my tools, and now I'm having to utilize them again. And so it's really helping me to focus to be more productive in the time that I have. So I'm just going to share a little bit about that for you guys tonight. Now, the emotional cycle is literally, it's present for all of us. It doesn't matter what our career path or in what areas of our life. We're human beings. That means that we signed up for a life full of every emotion thinkable, from sadness to anger to joy and everything in between. And we're going to feel them from time to time, and that's okay. We're designed to. It's so important for us to recognize that feelings are simply an expression of our circumstances, and whether you decide to let them control you or not is your choice. The power to pivot and recognize what that feeling is trying to show you is incredibly powerful. And we're going to find that we need to do that a lot in this business. I love that Mary Kay is a safe space to learn about yourself and to grow in ways that you didn't think were possible, and to develop yourself into the best version of you that is there. It's just there waiting for us to uncover her. And that really starts with learning to manage our emotions. I remember as a little girl, I was never taught how to manage my emotions. And so I grew up as an adult who had that, where if I was sad or anger or whatever I was in, I literally lived in that feeling, and it took me a long time to pull myself out of it. And I know I'm not alone. You don't have to out yourself, but I know that I'm not the only one that feels that way. And so it really took me getting into the Mary Kay business and being exposed to all of these things and learning them, meeting Denise and starting my healing journey, that really helped me to learn emotional regulation. And it is very crucial to the vitality of your business. Um, Anytime you start something new, you're going to be excited, right? We just like joining the gym at the beginning of the year or starting your business. You get so excited and you see all this potential for your future, and you really go gung ho about it. You're just really super excited. You start showing up at the gym every day, or you start making booking calls for your business. And then all of a sudden, something might happen that causes you to have a little bit of doubt in yourself. It can be a narrative that you've been told your whole life. It could be the cousin that you just knew was going to support you. They say no. It could be you showing up at the gym for a week straight and starting to compare yourself to everyone around you who's been going to the gym for a long time. And you start to get frustrated, and that is totally normal. So don't beat yourself up over it. You are stronger than that. And the people who are successful learn how to grow from that emotion. So people who are unsuccessful get stuck on a particular emotion that holds them back, and they don't learn how to pivot off of that or to learn the lesson that they're trying to be shown. But when you push through and you get a yes phone call when booking, or at the gym, you lose a few pounds and you're like, oh my gosh, I see that this is working. I see that there's some positive outcome from this. Then you recommit to the goal. So it's really important for you to remember that you have to detach from the negative feelings, the narrative in your head. I want to sleep in. I don't want to go to the gym. I want to go out with my friends. I don't want to make those phone calls. I don't want to be working on my business today. I'm going to put that off till tomorrow. And when you get rid of that negative feeling, then you become committed to the task. And you can't control the outcome of what happens from that task, but you can commit to the task that gets you the results you want. So the emotional cycle is really like starting with excitement, then maybe you get a little frustrated or discouraged, and then you recommit, and then you get excited again. And this cycle you're going to go through for your entire life with anything you ever try. It's not just one thing. If you ever had a friend who like jumps from thing to thing, or maybe you're a jumper and you jump from thing to thing, a lot of times it's because we get excited, we get frustrated and discouraged, and then instead of recommitting to our goal, we just jump to something new because that something new is going to give us excitement. So if you're able to just stick with it and just keep going, you're going to see that you work yourself through the wheel. And the more you do it and the more confident you get in your skills, the faster you're going to cycle through it. I know that when I first started Mary Kay, it was probably a month. I'd get into and get in the cycle. Each stage of the cycle, I'd be in it for like a month. And now it's like I'm in it for maybe an hour. And it's like, okay, that sucks, but we're going to move on because I know what's possible if I just keep applying myself. It's also really important not to compare your story with anyone else's. Comparison is the thief of joy. And oftentimes, when you're comparing your story to someone else's, you're using your low points against their high points. And that's not fair to either one of you. The common denominator among successful people in any area of their life is their determination. It gets you from excitement all the way back around to excitement again. So commit to your goals and commit to your dreams. So let's talk about the 24 hours in a day. It's our job to step up and make those hours matter. Creating a schedule and keeping to it not only teaches yourself to trust yourself, but it also shows others your determination for building your business so they can take you seriously, especially with our families. When our families see us take our business seriously and they see our determination, then they back us up on that and it gives us more support, which is really crucial. Um, Learning to trust yourself is a huge growth point, and it can be used in your business, your relationships, and especially helps in your ability to hold yourself accountable to your plan. There are only two rules for success. I love this. I can't remember who I heard it from, but number one is get started, and number two is don't stop. Literally, just start and don't stop. How many times have you set a goal and you do it for a little while and then you hit that emotional cycle, right? And you stop your goal. If you just kept going and kept your wheel turning and kept it going instead of letting it fizzle out each time, you would be so far, much farther away along your goal. Like the time's going to pass anyways, right? So we might as well make it impactful and moving towards the goals that you've set. I think back to like even just so for those of you who don't know, I was a director up until October of last year. And then I took a step back. I had a lot of personal stuff going on and things that I needed to heal from. And that time was crucial for me, but I am so ready to go back into directorship. And so here I am, working for DIQ again. Um, I was going to go somewhere with that and I forgot. Okay, never mind. But what I wanted to say is that like I saw Rebecca's face and I was just like, oh, I miss you. And then I totally went off track on my brain. I miss you, Rebecca. Okay. So the time is going to pass anyways. That's where I was going. So, like that time, even when we're sitting in it and we're letting the time pass and we're not working towards our goals, it's recognizing what you're learning in that time that's super important rather than beating yourself up. So I think about, from October to now, what happened to my life? What did I learn? What did I do? What did I accomplish? What has happened? And when you take note of all those things, then it's not like you're going to beat yourself up for taking that time. That taking that time back is actually setting you up for a stronger, like new point. Like I guess launching you forward like what's that, a slingshot. We're pulling back to, there's a word for it. Denise knows that. I know she's saying it in her head right now. A setup is a setback is a setup for a comeback. Is that it? Okay.
That's it.
Got it. All right. So everything you do in those 24 hours a day and what you do every day is the compilation of your week. And your weeks make up your month, and your month makes up your year, and your year makes up your decade makes up your life, right? So I want you to think about water droplets hitting a rock for a day, right? It's not going to do anything. It's not going to make any good. You wouldn't even notice. But water droplets running across a rock for years makes for a smooth groove and reshapes the rock. And when you've got water droplets that are just trickling, it's going to be a lot smaller of a groove. If you've got lots of things that you're doing every day to benefit yourself, then you're seeing a deep groove be made and a smooth groove, and the water flows faster and it's easier. And so it's kind of like the way it is when we're grooming ourselves. All the little things that we do in a day to compile our day are creating this groove that is our life. And you get to decide which way that groove turns and curves and goes and what it looks like. Now, the fact that you're even here on this Zoom meeting means that you care about your development as a consultant. You could have chose something else or allowed obstacles to stop you from being here, but you didn't. And that right here means that you are extraordinary. So thank you for showing up tonight. We appreciate that. Those who show up go up, meaning you are the future leaders of our area, and you just have to decide when you're ready. Okay. The fact that you're even here means that you have a leader inside of you that is wanting to come out. Now, I want to talk about the events that we have in Mary Kay. Events are so crucial to the health of your business. We have changed up what we do from time to time to meet where our area is at, but it's time to take advantage of what we have that we're being offered. Right now, Tuesday Night Live is here to recognize the successes. And if you don't have any successes in the past week, then you need the meeting. And if you do have things to celebrate from the week, then the meeting needs you. It's really important to hear other stories and what they're doing to help you learn. Inspiration and learning is the biggest takeaway from these nightly meetings. I appreciate all of you being on. I've noticed that our numbers have increased the last few weeks, and that's amazing. We want to keep it up. We want to keep showing up. Like I said, those who show up go up. And like hearing things like Sarah's wonderful party, her debut party, like what a great thing to share with everybody, because that makes me, who's been here for 6 years, feel inspired again. I need that. And so it doesn't matter. You might think that you didn't have a great week, or you might think you don't have anything to contribute, but you might have something that will help somebody else. And that's really important. So we need you here. Then we also have monthly meetings. We're doing a guest event every month. And so utilize these events to get in front of your clients. We heard Denise talk a little bit about the Hydra session. This is the perfect opportunity to share new product, the opportunity to get the pink community around them and how it feels to be a part of it. We all know that we have stepped into a Mary Kay room and felt the love almost instantly. And it is, you don't find this everywhere. It took me a minute to realize that after, starting my new job and everything, that like we get so used to our pink bubble and the way that we're treated and the way that we treat others, that when we step outside of it and get some other experiences, it's like, whoa, wait a second. That's not the Mary Kay way. I say that all the time now. I'm like, woo, Mary Kay way wouldn't be like that. We just need to spread that love, but like, remember that like the people that we're bringing into our guest events and our meetings don't have that in their everyday life. And it is impactful to them. The sisterhood, the love, the unconditional love, the support of each other, the applauding each other for our successes. Women crave that kind of community, and we don't get it all the time. And so it's very rare. So make sure that you get your guests there so they can feel that. If you have a tight schedule and you don't know when or where you can possibly see someone for a facial, we have several of us that are super busy on this meeting right now. Then these are the events that you want to take advantage of. Make the time impactful and show up. You're showing up and you're putting in the time and you're showing up to these meetings anyway, so you might as well bring a friend right along with you. They might not even know what you're doing. Just bring them. Be like, come have fun with me. I guarantee you're going to have a good time. We're going to start revamping our guest events, starting the new seminar year and doing some new fun stuff in a new location. And we need you to be there with your people, you guys. This is going to be super exciting. I don't know if anything's been announced yet, but it's going to be super exciting. So take advantage of it. Lastly, we have our quarterly events. So these are designed to help you commit to your business, recommit to your business. We have seminar, fall retreat, leadership, and career conference. And you guys, every single one of these events has come at a time in my life when I really, really needed it and didn't know that I needed it. And I show up, I go because I have a commitment to my business, especially as a director. I had a commitment to my business, so I wouldn't miss an event. And I would go and I would take things away from it that I didn't even know I need to hear. You want to be there. Career conference is just right around the corner. And if you've not signed up yet, there are still a few days left to do so. So I really, if you're not going to go and you know you're not going to go, I recommend you at least sign up for the general session. They have a virtual general session that you can watch, where you can take away at least the speakers from the Allen, Texas location. This is a pivotal event that will help you recommit if you're stuck on that emotional wheel and needing to get excited again. Our area, the Future Inspired National Area, is having a phenomenal intro into the final 4 months of the seminar year, you guys. And it's an exciting time to build and recommit to following your goals and moving up that career path. Now, we also have Peak into Pink events every Tuesday, except for guest event nights. And that is where you can have a DIQ or a director share with your guest over Zoom. These are another way to have someone else take the reins and help you build. All you have to do is get the guest the invite to the call. That's it. So if you're a super busy consultant and you're like, I want to grow, but I don't have time to share, take advantage of Tuesday nights. That's what they're there for. And also reach out to your director, because if she's capable of doing a different time, she can. These are perfect for the busy consultant who doesn't have a lot of time but still wants to grow her team. So real quick, let's break down what a week looks like. I don't know why, but for some reason doing it by the week instead of 24 hours like blows my mind. So the average person spends 56 hours a week sleeping. That's 8 hours, okay? 8 hours a day. 40 hours a week working their job outside of MK, and 42 hours a week with family, eating, self-care, driving to and from work, grocery shopping, all those little things. And then that in 168 hours, which is 1 week, that leaves about 30 hours a week of extra time. That is a lot of time, you guys. It does not take 30 hours a week to work your Mary Kay business. So let's get out our weekly plan sheet and get these times plotted out. Seeing it on paper makes a huge difference. Even just since I started this job, I had to get mine back out and look to see where my pockets of time were. This is a tool for you to redesign your week with intention and to give you clarity to when you do have time to do your IPAs. Now, for those of you who are new or aren't familiar, an IPA is an income producing activity. So these can be parties, facials, sharing appointments, trainings, workshops, social media postings, guest events, booking calls, reorder customer calls, PCP follow-up, designing a promo for your customers. All these things will bring income to you. It might not be instantaneous, but it will in the long run. If it isn't going to make you money or isn't getting you closer to your goals, then delegate it to someone else. This is one of the biggest lessons I've learned this year. I heard it over and over and over again, but something about going back to work and having a messy house and having no more time that I felt, I had to start delegating a lot of things. And that was like, it's really hard for me because I'm a micromanager, but I did it and I've been so happy. And my sales are increasing and I'm having more time for facials, and it's been a lot of fun. I really recommend color blocking your week out, not just writing it down on a piece of paper. When you color block it, you get to see like the actual squares and like see the visual representation of how much time you're spending on each thing. So we should follow Mary Kay's principles of faith first, family second, and career third, but career is not 33rd. So we're going to go faith, make sure you block out time for your faith and your family and your Mary Kay IPAs, and then your Mary Kay non-IPAs. And then friends and self-care, exercise, all the things that you are committed to in your life. Get it out on a piece of paper and practice your dedication to it. I realized in starting this job that I have to be very intentional with the time I am not working. I have to get up earlier and I have to go to bed a little bit later. I'm still getting about 7 to 8 hours of sleep because that's my sweet spot, but not being lazy about certain things. I am way more productive. I've given up watching a movie on Netflix or scrolling TikTok. TikTok is like my Achilles heel. Playing games on my phone to include more intentional time for my business. And, sometimes it just means reaching out to customers later at night, but a lot of my customers are okay with that. So find out what your customers are and are not okay with. You can actually send, if you're like a late night person, you can send messages and put your phone in airplane mode and just leave it in airplane mode until the morning and then put it back in. It'll send all the messages that you sent your customers. So if you're like one of those people who has a night owl and you like can't sleep at 2 a.m., but you're thinking about somebody, if you're thinking about them, it's probably because they need to hear from you. That's my rule of thumb. You hear us often say that when we're sharing with new people, the busy consultants are the most productive. And this is exactly why. They have little time, so they don't allow themselves to procrastinate. I was the queen of procrastination before I started this Alaska job. I actually told Denise, like, I'm actually kind of bored. Like, I have too much time on my hands. And because I had so much time on my hands, I wasn't working my business as diligently as I should have been. Instead of treating it like a job, I was treating it like a hobby, and it turned into a hobby. And that's embarrassing and sad, but it's also like, okay, well, what did I learn from that? And what am I going to take with me on this next trip of becoming a director? Um, and this also brings me to my next biggest tool. So, the 6 most important things list. I know you guys have heard us talk about it over and over and over again, but it is so crucial. It is a part of our business plan for a reason. So, I like to keep a running list of things on a sheet of paper. I call this my brain dump. And these are all things that come to my mind in the most inopportune times. And maybe that's just me, but this raining brain dump really helps me not leave loose ends because I'll randomly think of people. And then I'm like, my motto MO is, oh, I need to talk to that person if they're popping up in my mind. And so I will just jot their name down and then get to them later. Or doing dishes. I'll have like 5 people that come into my brain when I'm doing dishes. I'm like, oh, I got to write that down. I got to do that. So instead of leaving loose ends, I just make sure I get it on a sheet of paper. Then at night before bed, I'll look at my brain dump and put items down on my 6 most important things list for the next day. And this includes a list for my business. It includes a list for Denise because I'm her assistant. It includes my family and my household, and then one for my personal. And then I also have a list that says delegate, and this is new to me. Like I said earlier, anything that doesn't bring in income, joy, or move me towards my goals gets put on the delegate list. And sometimes that means it won't get done for a week, and I just have to be okay with that. And that's really, really difficult for me. But it's also one of the lessons I've been learning in this lifetime is boundaries with my children. And this is really helping me to help hold them accountable to doing what they said they would do. Um, and then when I do have time during the day to focus on MK, I have my list readily available. So I can just grab it, look at what needs to be done, and just start focusing on those one things. Otherwise, I can get socked into organizing inventory or looking at my expenses for the month. Like those are all things that are important, but if I only have a small time frame to be able to get something done, I want to do the most impactful thing, which is going to be booking, confirming bookings, making reorder calls. And reorder calls have been my entire sales for the last 2 months. I had one new customer yesterday that I facialed, but before that, all my sale orders are just reorders. And it was strictly because in those 5 or 10 minutes, somebody pops in my head and I'm like, oh, I should reach out to her. And so really just listening to yourself and listen to what's being given to you. Um, this is the only way I have found to stay organized and busy during the season of my life because this season has been a trial. All right, so it's not a Heidi training if I don't give you a numbered list of top tips because I always like to give those. So here's my top 6 tips for success in this busy, busy, busy season of my life. Number 1 is remember that Mary Kay is mathematical, not magical. We hear this often, and it means that when you see enough faces, so it's $100 average per face, and you call enough people, which is 1 out of 5 will book, and when you share with enough people, 1 out of 4 will get started with their own business. You will have success with your business. It is a numbers game. Are you playing it? Keep the numbers in front of you and keep a tracking list so you can see exactly how far you are from your goals at all times. Number 2, don't take it personal when someone says no. I love the concept of turning the no's into a game to see how many I can get before I get a yes. Someone turning me down used to make me feel so bummed, and it would slip me right into that emotional wheel, even if it was a total stranger. And now it's like I hear no, and I'm like, cool, the next one's going to be a yes because I got my no out of the way. Um, and someone turning you down for a facial is equivalent to someone turning down your offer for a piece of gum. I like to think of it like that. So if they said no to the gum, I wouldn't take it personal. I just stick it back in my purse and move on with the conversation and be like, well, your breath is still going to stink. So why do we take it personal with someone who says no to a booking? They aren't rejecting you. You have to learn that. Like really let that sink in. When someone says no to a facial, they are not rejecting you as a person. The rejection is to the facial. And there's a million reasons why someone might say no. And there's a million reasons why someone might say yes. So just ask and don't take the answer personal. Number 3 is applaud one another rather than compare. When we see other people's successes, it's easy to think, oh, well, she has blank or she has this, or her family is more supportive or whatever it is. Just stop. Don't even go there. We all have been given the same opportunity, and we're all working towards our goals in our own time with our own journey. We each have different skill sets and magical qualities that we bring to the table, and learning to work in our strengths are what will bring you success. So figure out what your sweet spot is and then live in it. We praise each other to success in this business, and we share happiness with one another rather than comparing their highlights to your lowlights. So stop doing it. I know that we don't do that to each other in this group, but I know that me personally, I will compare myself to other directors that I see on Instagram, or what this girl's doing, or this girl got into her pink Cadillac in 2 months. Why didn't I do it? You guys, don't do that to ourselves. We are all on our own journey, and we're all reaching the same end destination, but with our own time frame. Number 4 is create a space that inspires you. This is crucial. I've had a mess of an office since I started my Alaska job. I'd gotten a piece of furniture to store my inventory in that I hated, but I felt like I needed to use it because it was given to me. Nope, not the case. I hated stepping foot into my office, and I just ignored my business for months. Not just because of the furniture piece, but because I'd forgotten how to utilize all these tools as well. But I got rid of the piece of furniture real fast and replaced it with my white and gold shelves that are just more my style. And that environment that you choose to work in is way more important than we give it credit to. Give credit to music that you listen to, affirmations, goal posters, lighting, even in our workspace, all of it matters. And so when you have your little spot set up in your home, you don't have to have an office like this. You can do it from your kitchen table. You can do it from a spot in your bedroom. It can be the littlest area, but make sure it's yours. I light a candle every time I come in my office, just because lighting that candle triggers my brain to think, oh, we're in work mode and we're going to get creative. You want to get inspired and create a space that makes you feel creative, because when we're creative, that's when we attract, and we want to try to live in that creativity. Number 5 is the path to success is a ladder, not an elevator. It's designed to be traveled up one rung at a time. The first step is to hold a facial. So if you've never had a facial or you've never had a party, that is your very first step. Don't even think about becoming a red jacket or going to DIQ or becoming a director. It can be on your goal poster, but focused on what's right in front of you, the next tangible goal. Start there and then don't give up. Number 6 is what you're looking for is looking for you too. So focus on what you do want in your life and watch it appear. Scale up what you're looking for. Stop thinking in minimums and reach higher. Do you expect good results when you call people? When you close a party, are you expecting $1,000 in sales? When you share the opportunity, are you expecting a yes, or are you looking for the negative? Whatever you're searching for is searching for you too. And there are women out there who are literally praying for the opportunity that we have to share with them. So make sure you share with everyone, because you never know which share is going to be the answer to someone's prayers. Now, many of you have heard me talk about the benefits of working my Alaska job. And let me tell you, it does have some pretty sweet benefits. However, recently I got super angry that this is the choice that I made. I left the corporate world 6 years ago because I was tired of being tired and not having any work-life balance. My children needed me at the time. They're all a lot older now and don't need me as much. And I was not being the mother I knew that I needed to be to them because of the demands of that job. And you would think that I would have kept that lesson, but I did forget. I've only been working this new job for 2.5 months, and I feel like it's been years, you guys. I feel like I've been so distant for so long. I have lost my work-life balance completely, and I'm struggling to find time for self-care, and it's requiring me to utilize all these tools that I've just shared with you just to keep my sanity. I miss my business so much. It's so important to hold on to the reasons why you started this business in the first place and keep your why right in front of you. I had become complacent in my business and I needed to grow, but I chose to sit in my comfort zone instead. And this is what made me feel bored. And like there was something more out there for me to do. But instead of putting that extra intention into my business, I decided to add another job. And looking back, I totally regret doing so. And maybe regret's the wrong word, but I definitely have learned from this experience. And I'm so ready to get back into my pink jacket and work the leadership role that I know that I'm supposed to be in. I love that the Mary Kay opportunity forces us to grow in places that we didn't even know we needed to pay attention to. I have learned more about myself in the past 6 years than I had in my prior 20 years of being an adult. While we say MK is mathematical and not magical, there's a part of it that is magical, you guys, in the sense that it provides us with exactly what we need while we're working it. It's different for each one of us, and no two stories are going to be the same. Each one of us will take away our own lesson, and we'll each have our own blessings from it. So pay attention. When you're in that emotional cycle, ask yourself, what am I needing to learn right now? I guarantee you there is something. I needed this Alaska job to help me remember when I left the bank in the first place because I had forgotten. And I'm so thankful that MK is right where you set it down. You don't lose anything, and you can pick it up just like that. If you sat your business down for a while and you're ready to pick it back up, I am so cheering you on. It's such a beautiful place to be and worth every ounce of intention that you spend on it, I promise. I have a challenge for you guys tonight. I don't have a prize for you because I'm not a director, so I'm not going to do that. The prize is that you did it, and you'll be so thankful that you did. So I want you to print out a weekly plan sheet. It's on the Mary Kay in Touch under your weekly accomplishments. You're going to print out a weekly plan sheet and you're going to create your ideal week. I know not every week looks the same, but let's start with what you would consider the perfect week. And when you're done, you're going to text a picture of it to your director. You will find that you have much more time than you thought. This was eye opening for me, even being slightly experienced with this, just seeing the gaps in time. And you're also going to get clarity on where your time is wasted and where you can adjust. I didn't realize how much of a time sap just being on TikTok at night was, when I could be doing so many more productive things. Remember to delegate what doesn't bring you income, joy, or move you closer to your goals. And be sure to include your faith, family, career, self care, and other obligations that you have. This business opportunity has a multitude of blessings for you. So figure out what is most important to you and let's build from there. Mine is work life balance and flexibility. I never realized exactly how important that was to me until it was taken away. So I am cheering you all on. We have 4 months until the end of the seminar year, and big things can happen. I am not tracking any of the courts. And I am not even tracking Star Consultant this year, but I am, or this quarter, but I am so turning that around. My goal, I just want to share it to be transparent, is to finish the B of the Queen B, Queen's Court of Sharing, and get back into my director's jacket by seminar. So my intention is to sign my DIQ commitment letter March 1st. And we're super close. We've got several girls who are on the verge of getting their active orders in. I've got a couple new girls that I've been sharing with, and I'm super excited about it. And I'm so ready. And I'm ready for Kelly to do this with me, right? And I'm just like, it's just gonna be fun. I'm ready to be back in my pink jacket. I like the red, but I like the pink better. So do you guys have any questions or things that you want clarity on, or something that maybe I skipped over that you'd have more that you want to hear about it?
Do you mind sharing the thing that made you so angry? I know.
Yeah, okay. So
Share it.
yeah, okay. So for those of you who don't know, Suki lost her battle with her disease on February 5th. And that was really hard for me. And I've been super emotional about it. And I buried myself in work. Like I literally was like, okay, I'm going to work as much as I can because we still have a $12,000 vet bill that we're paying off. And my kids, when all this happened, they were like, wait, we still have to pay that? I'm like, yeah, we still have to pay that. And so I just was working my hiney off. I worked 103 hours in 2 weeks. And yes, that was part of my grief. Part of me handling the grief was just distraction with work. But I was excited about having a bigger paycheck. And when I got my paycheck, it was only $70 more than what my check would have been if I had just worked normal because of taxes and because of I was putting in money into my 401k. I was taking like 7%. So of course that doubled too because I doubled my money pretty much. And so it all ended up going to taxes, state taxes, my 401k. I didn't get hardly anything on my paycheck. And I was literally livid. Like I was like, I wrote all my girls. I don't think any of my girls are on right now, but I wrote all of my girls a letter that are in my past unit. And I was like, look, if you can relate to this at all and you're ready to like fire up your business and like have tax benefits, not tax deductions, like I want to work with you because it just lit something in me that was just like I spent all this time. I didn't self-care those 2 weeks. I didn't even hardly talk to my kids at all. Yes, I was grieving, but I could have handled that in a lot better way. And I just was exhausted. And I was thinking, well, at least I'm going to have a bigger paycheck for all this. No, I didn't. And so it was really eye opening for me and reminded me of exactly why I left corporate in the first place. You guys, we have the best opportunity to create wealth for ourselves in this business. And you know what I'm making at Alaska, I could make in my sales easily if I just put 10, 15 hours a week of work in, like actual customer facing hours in. I would way surpass what I'm making in Alaska. So it was just really eye opening to me. And while I shouldn't say the word regret, because I don't regret anything, we learn stuff from everything we do. I'm really looking forward to just doing my Mary Kay full time again. I'm ready for the flexibility and the work life balance because, you know, even though my kids are older, they do still need me. And I have news to share really quick. I had permission to share it, but I'm going to be a grandma. And I'm so excited. Yes. So Jasmine is expecting. she's she's between 6 and 8 weeks along. We're going to go have a doctor's appointment to find out exactly, but it was very unplanned and it was very shocking for at first. But I've told everybody I've had baby fever for like a year or two, and I am so excited to have a grandbaby. It's a whole different ball game already. I'm just like, I can feel a difference between being a mom and being a grandma already, just in the expectation of the baby coming. I'm just like, wow, this is exciting. So she's due like around October 23rd. But yeah, super. I'm like, can I please tell them? Because I've been wanting to tell people. And she's like, she just wanted to wait until she had her, like, you know, she came to terms with it first. And she's super excited.
All new joy.
Yes. All right. Well, I rambled enough.
You did great, Heidi. Thank you. Awesome
Thank
training. I
you.
loved your number 5 tip. Honestly, the path to success is a ladder, not an elevator.
Mm-hmm.
And you just knocked it out of the ballpark with everything you shared tonight. And thank you for being so transparent and just real. You know, you give other people hope when you are real and transparent. And I just admire you so much. And you're going to make
Aw,
even better director than you were the first time around. So, you know what? You get
thank
to do it
you.
again and do it better.
Thank you. That makes me cry. I'm super excited. And thank you for all your kind comments. I can see them all in the chat. You guys are all amazing. I love you guys so much.
Can I share a cute thing that Heidi has shared with me a few times? One of her biggest excitements was having travel benefits, being able to fly. And she says, I don't have any time to fly anywhere.
Nope.
Because I can't get my shifts away and even had to work hard to get conference planned. And you know, the thing is that that's a lot of people's life when you work for somebody else. But then all of a sudden when you know, have had that kind of freedom and flexibility to work your own life around your life and your family schedule, and then you don't have the same flexibility where you have to get shifts covered and ask permission, it really hits you, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, totally. Even just like, you know, the flexibility of like having a family come to town and I could be like, hey, I'm gonna not work this tonight. I'm gonna have family time. Like there's no getting rid of your hours. Just it was shocking. People said that it gets better in the summertime than it does right now because there's like a lot of overtime right now, so people don't want to work extra. But that's besides the point. The point is that you have to ask for permission to have time off, and I'm not that kind of girl. I enjoy being my own boss. I enjoy making my own rules. I enjoy creating a schedule that works for me. I love my slow mornings. I'm excited to get back to it all.
All right. Anybody else have anything, any feedback or things you want to share with Heidi or questions?
I was at a leadership training this last week for women, and there were a couple quotes that I thought were really awesome. One of them was, "You can't soar like an eagle if you're hanging with turkeys." I thought that was funny. We're a bunch of eagles, so we don't
Yes,
have to
we
worry about that.
are.
But also, there was one that was, you know, your comfort zone is such a warm, fuzzy place, but unfortunately, nothing grows there. And I thought that was a really good way to visualize that, you know?
I love that. Those are awesome.
I went to this retreat with my husband this last weekend, and we did all kinds of cool, I would say woo-woo stuff, rapid eye therapy, which I've never had done. It's different than EMDR, and breath work and massages and all these really cool stuff. But one of the things, and I've heard this a lot in Mary Kay, to be honest, but the statement of, are you watering your weeds or are you watering your plants? And it just reminded me so much about, like, one of the little quotes I got today in email about, one of the things that we have, the gifts that we have as human, is the power of imagination. And it begins with our thoughts, and our thoughts are creative. And so that's where we're in the image of God, is that we have the power to think a thought, feel an emotion, and manifest and magnetize to us what we want. But what are you watering? Right now, a lot of the world is on the fear channel of the ain't it awful, everything wrong with the world, instead of focusing on what do we have control over, and what do we want to focus on, and what is the world that we want to live in and pass on to the next generation. So are you watering your weeds, or are you watering your garden? Oh my gosh, Vanessa, you got your real estate license?
Yay.
Yay! I know that's been your goal. I just saw that pop through.
Thank you so much. I was really excited. It took me 4 times.
It's okay, you did it.
Now I've got just a couple more little hoops, and I will be ordering business cards tomorrow and working with my sister. So I'm thrilled. And then I'm really excited to not work at Lane Bryant anymore. And my word of the year came to me finally, and it was choose. And the fact that I choose everything that I have in my life. And I chose to work at Lane Bryant. I chose to be paid so little money. And I chose to have to ask permission for time off. So now I get to choose something different, and I'm really excited. And Heidi, oh my God, I needed to hear your words tonight more than anything. And that just solidified exactly what I need to do. So thank you so much. And thank you everybody, and Denise and April, for all your support with everything I do. And I just really, really appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Anybody else have good news or anything you want to share before we close?
I just love you, Heidi, and you know that. And we're gonna do this together, and I'm so excited. We can all ditch our jobs together. We'll have like a party where we ditch Lane Bryant and Alaska and farmers.
I am so here for that, Kelly. I will host.
I got these cute little heart-shaped sunglasses, pink ones, and I got a set of pom-poms, a new set of pom-poms for everybody for career conference. And then last week I showed our little banner and goodie bags, and you guys were staying in the Airbnb. So anybody who wants to bring snacks, we figured we're not really organizing meals per se, because some are getting there Thursday, some are getting there Friday, and it goes Friday night, I think until 7, something like that. And then we have a little bit of free time. And then Saturday, the conference gets done around 4-ish. And then afterwards, we'll probably have some dinner and then do a little quarterly awards celebration. And then we come back Sunday. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there to get everybody prepped. But I've got some fun things for us to go across the stage for the Pink Cadillac unit.
I forgot to share a picture of my red
your
sparkly
sparkle.
notebook.
Here, I'm going to put you on speaker view for the recording here.
So it's such a cute little notebook that you can write in, and first person to finish Star Team Builder, 3 active members on your team will get this. It comes with a pin as well. I don't know if you can see the sparkle, but
Yeah.
it's glittery. It's so cute. Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. All right, everybody. Well, everybody have a wonderful, fantastic week, and let's finish strong. And we'll see you all there, all of you local girls with guests. Those who are not local, make sure you tune in. We're going to Zoom it. Have a great week, and
Have
let
a
us
great
know if you
night.
share. Good night.